Maro, a game of two halves is the cliche, but England, you started off so well and the second half of the game kind of got away from you. What are your thoughts on the performance?
I thought the first half was fantastic. We did pretty much everything we wanted to do. Second half, we just lost the territory a little bit, and we struggled to exit and get out. So we just need to control the territory a little bit better, more consistently throughout the game.
Can you put your finger on exactly why in that third quarter, when the plan seemed to be working so well, you weren't able to execute it as well?
It's hard to dissect exactly what the reason is at this point, so quickly soon after the game, but it was a territory thing, really. We weren't able to exit our half as efficiently as we would like.
Your first game as captain in your 89th test must have been a proud day for you. Of course, not the result you wanted, but how did you feel being out there leading the team?
No, the tremendous honour. I grew up watching England and wanted to play England for England. But it's not really about me. It's about the team and the stuff for us to build on. And hopefully next week will be better.
And despite a difficult second half, to leave with a losing bonus point, that is something to take away to next week.
Absolutely. This is a tight competition and every point matters. So I'm proud of our team for not giving in and playing to the end.
Thanks, Mara. Good luck next week.
Eddie, whoever you are as a coach, you have to dissect a defeat from time to time. If you were the England coach after that, what would you be talking about as terms of the England team going ahead to the France game?
Well, firstly, I'm glad I'm not.
Yeah. You've been there and you've got the T-shirt.
Yeah. Look, you've got to find the positives in the game. Their physicality, their defence in the first half, their breakdown work was good. And also that ability just to stay in the game. Like in the second half, I think they gave away 7 penalties and 2 free kicks. So Ireland were having line-outs in their half, and then Ireland got their rhythm. So you've got to be able to just keep doing your job. Don't look for the easy option there. And that's something you just got to do through hard practice.
You've got to graft on some creativity, Johnny, as I said to Eddie earlier, haven't you? That's the reality for this England team.
I think the creativity comes when you feel very secure in what you're doing, hence the defence. When you feel really secure in everyone around your organisation, that structure allows you then to just play within it. But until you have that, you just don't have that secure footing. So I think today can be a big start to that creativity. But we all know what it's like to have a really creative team, but you're leaking tries at the other end like mad. It's not what we're after. What we're after is that inevitability, and then let's start to see that come out when it's ready. But it's not far away.
They're playing a creative team next weekend at Twickenham, aren't they?
They sure are.
They sure are in the French.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly that is a massive challenge. We'll talk about Ireland in a second, but if you were England, how do you approach that based on what you've seen here?
Well, it's going to be as physical as this, if not more. You know what France are going to throw at you. They're going to come at you, route one, but then they also have the capacity to be able to throw the ball wide. And when you've got a magician playing at 9, being able to tweak defences, draw you out and then pick the right pass or pick the right kick, you've got to cover all bases. So it's going to have to be a much improved performance and an 80-minute performance. Great for 40 minutes, but the best sides go the course. And it's a steep learning curve for this England team. They'll be very frustrated because in parts they look really, really good, but that's not what the game is about. It's about consistency over 80 minutes and throughout this tournament. If they don't do that, they'll suffer similar results like they did today.
Absolutely. Do watch next weekend because Antoine Dupont is just the most magnificent rugby player of any era. So do that. And Ireland, absolutely full of beans going to Murrayfield after that. We talked about the jeopardy of this match and the way it would shape a season for both teams. So they go to Murrayfield in tremendous hard off, particularly after that second half.
Yeah, they will. I think you're right. The half-time, if you had to fast forward to Murrayfield at that point, they might have been a lot more nervous. But they will go in now, having shown loads of examples in the second half. When they get their stuff right, when they get the gain line, when they play territory, they can put a lot of pressure on teams. I think some of the quality of their passing, Eddie said it when we were watching up is that everything was right in front. They were able to run onto the ball, generate momentum, and they looked like a completely different team in that second half. And look, in the end, England just, the number of tackles ran out, and Ireland started to get a few softer shoulders. There's going to be elements at the start of the game in Murrayfield is going to be more difficult than some of that. But look, they can now kind of park the autumn. They can now go, that second half has given us confidence. It's going to be a titanic battle next week for them.
Big day for Simon Easterby, and his text just buzzing there from Andy Farrell. Well played, son.
Yeah. Well selected. My team I selected during the week worked out well for you. Congratulations.
But great for him to get over this hurdle with all the, the
It's
questions, as I said earlier, that any coach would.
I thought he looked a bit nervous,
Yeah.
understandably, in the interview before the game. Of course he is, because this is a big stepping stone for him. I'm sure he has aspirations to be a head coach himself in the years to come, and the tests don't come much bigger than England at home. So whatever words he said at half-time worked a treat, because they came out second half and really put to bed the Autumn Nations series. The uncertainty that we've all been feeling has gone for now.
Do you sense that France and Ireland are a cut above everybody else, as we suspected maybe at the beginning of the weekend?
Well, I think they are, and you just saw today the quality of Gibson Park and Lowe in the second half. They really dominated the game, and the rest of the team went with them. And for England to go forward, they need a couple of those senior guys to really step up, show the way, and bring the younger guys with them.
Big week on the training field then to finish with for England.
Yeah, I think so. Ultimately, in that second half, that last 20 minutes, it's often the last 20 minutes, but let's say second half today, it's up for grabs. One team has to go forward, the other one and one team has to drop. Which one do you want to be? What does it take to be the one that pushes again? The focus in training, everything. So, yeah, I'm sure they'll lift it and we'll see what comes.